welcome to another episode of Mashing in the Meta with me, Tap, for Brew Tap Cast. Today's episode, we will be revisiting a deck we did back in July of this year with Simic Flash. That deck first came on the scene with the release of M20. Nightpack Ambusher, Spectral Sailor, and Brineborn Cutthroat sort of made that deck something that could play relatively well in the meta. It wasn't necessarily a tier 1 deck, more like a tier 2 deck, but it was definitely a fun deck, and the play pattern was a little bit different than other decks at the time. So it was a fun deck to play. This go around, in between the release of Theros Beyond Death and Throne of Eldraine, it's become a little bit more of a ramp deck. So I'm calling it Simic Flamp. It was recently popularized in this format by some Mythic VII Championship contenders Brad Nelson, Seth Manfield, and Javier Dominguez. Brad Nelson actually took it to second place to lose against Canister's Jund Sacrifice Cat deck. But it looks like it is a little bit more of a tier 1 deck at this point in the meta. The major swap out was Paradise Druids, Growth Spirals, Nissa, and that was sort of relieving the spots of Spectral Sailor, Brineborn Cutthroat, and the Wildborn Pioneer, if those were in the deck. And the idea behind it now is not necessarily just to hold up counter and then flash in creatures to beat down in the following turns. It's more of a, we'd like to ramp into a turn 3 Nightpack Ambusher or a turn 4 Nissa, and then control the board after those are down and getting advantage from that. If that doesn't necessarily go to plan, we have some Quench, Aether Gusts, and a little bit of maybe an early Crisis for not a lot, just to sort of try to get our opponent off foot. So we can then hit our mid-game stride and go a little bit bigger, a little bit faster while controlling the board. That's the main deck. Sideboard is just a little bit more of the same, except we do have some Lovestruck Beasts and some Chemist's Insight if we want to play a little bit long game or a little bit beefier with the Lovestruck Beasts. Otherwise, that's the deck. We will go ahead and run it and see how things go. Our opponent is Drumler. A little bit of lag on the client today. We are in the play here. The hand is not super amazing, but we do have some lands. We can counter some early stuff or get rid of some early stuff. So I think I'm going to keep this. We, not being on the draw and not having a great hand, we do have a Scry land, which I am looking forward to. I don't think we want to negate on top, though, so we'll go ahead and bottom that and pass it over to our opponent. So maybe they're on a Jeskai Fires deck, with Temple of Triumph being their first one, scrying to the top. Makes me wish we had the negate after all. Go ahead and drop an island past the turn. Keep up Quench if we feel like we need to, and we do not. Double Scry. Breeding Pool, which I think we'll probably just pass on right now and play the other island. And then maybe we will play out Breeding Pool next turn or the following turn if we need it. So, opponent just passes it over. So now we can not necessarily hold up everything we want, but we can hold up a Quench or an Aether Gust and play out a Paradise Druid here, which is a bad situation. We still have a Quench if they try to play Fires or something like that, so which we can happily quench away. Happy to use the Quench instead of something else because it is something that we wanted to actually have. And there is our turn for 5 Nissa. Not terrible. We can hold up an Aether Gust, or if we don't attack with our Paradise Druid, we actually hold up a Sinister Sabotage, so that's what we'll do. We don't have the ability to get blue, actually, so that's unfortunate. So we'll untap a Breeding Pool. Yeah, we only have Aether Gust available right now. But we'll go ahead and get our attacks in and then pass over. We can Aether Gust a Fires. That's going to land. No, we can counter that. So we'll go ahead and counter that. And then have a counter next turn for something with a Frilled Mystic, which we will happily keep this gentleman on top in case they don't play something that's worthwhile. I think we can just... We're not going to play anything out, or are we? If we tap Breeding Pool Forest, we can actually untap. So I think we can just main phase it. Well, we don't have to main... Well, we would have to main phase it, because we can go 2, 3, 4, untap that, have a bunch of mana. So yeah, I think we just go ahead and go like this, because then we untap... Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and like that. Untap our forest. And then get in and pass turn. So we have a single counter spell up. Pretty good board state, so it's looking pretty good for us against Drumler. If they try to if they double spell, it sort of depends on what they're going to be doing here. But I think we have a pretty good board state. A Deafening Clarion would be unfortunate. Another Cavalier, we can just counter that away. And I think that's probably going to prompt a concession, because I think we just have... Yeah, we had lethal on board. Alright, that went very well. That's Blagic is our opponent. Blagic. Alright, so we go first. We don't have any early interaction, but we have the ability to go get some lands, hopefully get to turn 4 mana on turn 4, and then start powering out some things. We are in the play. We have a Scry land, so... Aether Gust, I don't think we really want to have an Aether Gust right now. We're not planning to play that on turn 2, so I think we're happy with the way things are right now. We did draw our land, so this is a good thing, so we'll go ahead and pass it along to our opponent. And then end of turn Growth Spiral looks like what we want to do here. I guess we can actually just play out push the island out, and then next turn we'll untap, and then if we wanted to go search up something else, we can. I think we'll go search up a island. Actually, in this case, yeah, we're going to get an island. Oh, no, we'll get a forest, because we do have a Nissa. We probably want to have that out there, so we'll get a forest. And then we'll pass a turn. And then see what our opponent does. If there's nothing really worth countering, we will probably just Frilled Mystic here at the end of turn. Or, sorry, Nightpack Ambusher. Looks like we might be fighting counter magic. Nope, maybe they... I'm not really sure what they're doing here. So we don't actually have to Nissa here. We won't get our wolf if we do. So I think I'm actually gonna... I think we are gonna try to Nissa. They may have a negate, which is a little bit unfortunate. Or Sinister Sabotage. I feel like they would have snapped it off right away. So maybe it's an Aether Gust. Not really sure what we're playing. Maybe it's a Esper Walker something or other.
Rise, my elemental friend.
That's fair enough. Maybe that was the reason why we didn't do a breeding shouldn't have done a breeding pool, but that's okay. Still okay. We have another breeding pool in hand, so we'll still be happy on mana, and then next turn we'll hold up a counter spell, depending on what our opponent does. I don't think we're going to want to Hydroid Krasis just yet. Getting some more lands down would be fine, and then seeing what happens. So I guess a Teferi wouldn't be a very fun thing for us to see on the opponent's board right now, but I think we'll probably just try to ride our Nightpack Ambusher and our land creatures to the win. Maybe I should have done a forest. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't really know. They're probably going to maybe have the same sort of thing. Another Tyrant Scorn. So we can Sinister Sabotage that and then still have mana up. Or we can Frilled Mystic and still have mana up. Do we want... I think we need to keep our land. I'd rather like to attack here. So I think we're just gonna... Yeah, that's unfortunate. We actually don't have... I don't want that. We don't have counter magic up now because of that, but... And we cast a spell, which is unfortunate. So they did get the better of us there. I guess I didn't want to cast Frilled Mystic because I was a little bit worried about them having some sort of sweeper, but at the same time, it would be like Ritual of Soot, and that's not really a big deal for us. All we'd lose is our land, which they already try to anyway. So I'm not really sure. I don't know really what we're playing against right now. So they're going to destroy Nissa. And then we'll just bash in for 7 and then pass. We bottomed or shot a growth spiral into the garbage and still picked up another one. I love the new animations on these wolves, by the way. They're just pretty darn tootin' good. All right, so Thought Erasure. Feel like they're just gonna take a counter spell out of our hand. We also don't want them to know what we have in our hand. What do they have for 3 mana that's gonna do anything? I think we're just gonna counter that. They're just gonna take it anyways. And we still have the ability to grow spiral at the end of turn, I think. Oh no, we don't have a Nis anymore, so never mind. So I'm not sure. I could have a 4-mana. Okay, then that is game. That was a Perna's Lyre. This is not a very good hand. Unless they're on blue, but we don't know. I just don't feel safe that we'll have the mana to do this. So we're going to mulligan that away. This is a little bit better, less exciting. We only have one blue source, but we do have a scry. It's just if we get screwed, we're going to get screwed pretty hard. I think we'll probably bottom a Sabotage, just because we know we can cast an Aether Gust, so that's a better thing to have. Can't handle that guy right now. So we're looking for lands here. So at least we have the Aether Gust up next turn. If we don't draw an island for this turn or next turn, that's okay. So still not loving what's going on here. Fabled Passage will do, it just will not do at the right time here. So that's fine. Hopefully we're not gonna... We're still be able to hold up a Fire Sting. So this looks like a deck I've never seen before, which is a little bit interesting. Don't have a way to interact with that except for the Brazen Borrowers, so hopefully we can get something like that sometime soon. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get an island here. And we'll pass the turn over to our opponent. So not loving the board state the way it is right now, but I guess it could be worse. They're going to go ahead and get themselves a Dargon, which we can't really do anything with. Or against, again, unless we have a bounce, which we could draw a Brazen Borrower or something like that, and that could help us do something. It'd be very unfortunate if they don't try to cast anything, so I'm happy to have at least a counter spell to deal with that. I do want to... Do I want to get a body on board? I mean, we have the ability to double spell if they have something that we do want to get, so I think we're going to go ahead and counter that. The life gain is not a huge issue, but it will eventually add up, so we aren't super happy about that. So Castle Vantress doesn't actually help us at all, and we can't really do all that much against what they're putting up right now. We do have a counter spell and an Aether Gust, or just a hard counter with Frilled Mystic here. So we have the ability to interact with them. We just don't have the ability to interact with what's on their board at this point. That's why that unsummon and those bounce spells are actually pretty key sometimes if you get a little bit behind, because this deck does a little bit have a little bit of trouble when you get behind. Especially with like planeswalkers that you can't necessarily mess around with all that much. Maybe that was not okay to let resolve, but I just don't see that being too much of a problem. That was just probably to get a blocker out so they can attack in with their Dargon. They didn't attack with their Dargon. Okay. So we can go shields down if we get the Nissa down, but I feel like they're going to have negate or 9 eyes or something. This also might just... This is just going to die next turn. So I don't even think that that's worth playing. So we're on the back foot here. We're definitely on the back foot here. And they're going to start pumping out Dargons. 4/4 Dargony Bird Elemental Boys. So feeling like we're getting too far behind, even with a Nissa. I guess a large Krasis could help. So they're not attacking, and we can't do anything, so a Night Pack Ambusher would be actually a pretty fine thing to see here as well. But we are not loving the situation here. So a Narset. Do we just get more creatures on board? We still have... actually, no, I think we just need to... Oh, that was some... Actually, that was the only way to have the mana tap well. So that's at least something to do. We may just have a better spell that we can't deal with. I mean, if it's red, or we can gust it. Otherwise, I think we just Growth Spiral. Clarion. Yeah, postponing that isn't going to help. And now they're going to gain a whole bunch of life. So I'm pretty sure we're toasted. Quite toasted here. Alright, so the borrower is a little late to the party. But at least we can... Yeah, we can't even really get a lot of value out of it, so... I think we just kind of have to be reactive here. We can bounce a token and then attack in, so they're going to go up to 4. Hopefully they attack in with a team here. They're smart enough to not attack him with a team. We're going to have to take it. So we could theoretically bounce the Fae of Wishes and then get in with an Nightpack Ambusher to kill it, but then we're just dead to Flyers, and that's something we really want to counter. Alright, so I think it's just going to be, unless we get a huge ability to hugely rip a... I guess a Krasis would only be for 4. That wouldn't save us, but we'd gain a couple life, draw a couple extra cards. So what can we do here? We can bounce a token. They got a negate here, but they don't. It's good. So we have an island, so we don't have anything that we can really do here. We can get Anissa down, probably, and then get the Mu Yangling down a little bit more. But then Nissa will die? It won't die necessarily. So we're not looking good here. That is a very true situational correct statement. We are not looking good. So maybe they're going to go get something with a Fae of Wishes that's just going to own us here. Do we have the ability to crawl out from underneath this? They probably want to... They're probably just going to attack into Nissa. No, they're going to attack into home base, which makes sense. So really, we can borrow ourselves a turn, depending on what they have. Fires of Invention. Fires of Invention, Fires of Invention, Fires of Invention, Fires of Invention. We can always gust that later. All they have is Fae of Wishes right now. Although we can gust it on their draw step. Depends on what they're going to get. I guess that's kind of the key thing here. We want to see a counter spell off the top, I guess. Then we can maybe gust counter. It's just we're dead in the air 2 turns from now, unless we can somehow deal with that other token. So they're thinking about what to get. I don't know what they could get that's going to make it. I guess they could get like a Casualties of War. That's pretty good. That's a gustable card, but not a card that's going to really help us in any way anyway, though.
The land fights for us.
Alright, so we can Brazen Borrower in to block the flyer. We can Gust the Chandra, and that buys us one more turn. Oh, that life gain is so bad. I forgot about that. That's so much. Buys us another turn to find a flyer and then something for the Chandra. So they went and got that other sideboard, so they definitely don't want to put it in the bottom here, unless they drew something that's even better. They still have one more spell that they could drop too. So we're not like overboard. So they could just kill this, right? No, I didn't realize that. All right, so we have not much going on here. I guess a big Krasis. A Krasis could. It's not a Krasis. Maybe we should have scryed. I didn't think if we could scry or not.
Harness the elements.
Alright, so that's game. We're just dead. We'll see if they see it. We'll see if they see it. They have flying damage. We don't have flying damage. So this is where the Wildborn Pioneers were actually nice, is they did have reach. Alright, well that wasn't too bad. Alrighty then. Next challenger, Nameless. Nameless. We're in the play. We have lands for days. Krasis, which I don't mind casting at 2, maybe. Yeah, we'll keep this. We got Scry land, so mitigates the 4 lands. Negate. No thanks. Well, yeah, no thanks. Don't know enough about what we're playing against. It could just be a complete dead card, so. I'll get in for some attacks. So now we have the ability to... Like, I don't feel like bouncing and losing that to them dropping a counter, but we could counter something. If they have it over, we can just play out our Borrower. Oh, that's a counter. This might be that mono green stompy deck that we all know and love. Alright, so we have a counter spell, or we have a 3/1 flyer. This Barkide guy might just go the distance, you never know. Wow. Ouch. That's punishment right there. Alright, so we could do this. We might have to take some damage to get our board stable. So I'm thinking we can flash in the Nightpack Ambusher. That was nice. Nice timing on that. Flash in the Nightpack Ambusher, block the Troll, not lose the Shifting Shifting Ceratops. Hopefully they don't have some sort of pump or instant speed fight or anything like that here. Really don't want to see that happen. Doesn't have anything special, right? No. So, hopefully... Alright, that's unfortunate. We don't want to cast anything. We might want to bounce or something the Yarvo here. Because Nissaing doesn't really help us right now. And a Crisis for 3 isn't all that helpful either. So I think we just pass here. At least we get a wolf. We can counter something or bounce and play out our flyer. Which I guess we could get reached. We can get reached. Do I want to go to 4 here? I'll lose our wolf. I don't think I do. I guess we can just chump. I can give it trample. I think we just take it and then we have 2 wolves next turn. Swarming us. Yikes. Okay, I think we kind of have to Nissa here now, because we were just getting... lose out on if we do the Nissa, dang it. Alright, we have to flash in a Frilled Mystic to stay alive. I don't know why I didn't attack with a Borrower. Would have been free damage, I guess. Not super happy with the way things are going. At least we have another creature, so that gives them a little bit more of inappropriate blocks here. So now I feel like I'm really hurting not having cast or attacked in with a Borrower next turn, because we're probably not going to generate another token because we're probably going to want to play something. 1, 2, so we get a 4/4 Crisis. Play this. We don't have enough to hold up a Frilled Mystic, so I think we just go ahead and go for 4. Oh, that's gross. That is a gross situation. I guess it would have been better to Nissa just to cause some distraction, but... Alright, so it's very likely they could have another Questing Beast, which isn't great, but at least we have some big bodies now, so I'm not as worried about getting beat down upon. I guess what I'd prefer to see is a Nightpack Ambusher, maybe? Something like that. That's a little bit better, in my opinion. This is crummy. I kind of need to do this, so I have to take the 4 there. Or do I just chump? I think I have to chump here. Hopefully they don't have any pump. Alright, they don't have any pump. At least we kill one of their... or 2 of their threats. That's going to get bigger. I guess that would have been the reason to not do that. Alright, so we're going to get another wolf. We're going to have a Frilled Mystic up, so hopefully they try to cast something. We'll have another blocker. We can use that to help kill the Pelt Collector. On not just jump, but trade. Maybe a 2-for-1, but at least it's a 2-for-1. We get our sort of a 1-card advantage back from the Frilled Mystic, being a counterspell. I think I just want the body at this point. They could play a land and play a Yarvo, which wouldn't be all that, or Yorvo, which wouldn't be all that great, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And now we have a better ability to block the Pelt Collector. So now they probably won't attack. which is a little bit good because it gives us a little bit of a pause. Okay, you can have all the trolls you want. That's fine. I think it's now safe to go with the Nissa. Even if it gets killed, it is what it is.
Protect the virtue of this world. The land fights for us.
I really hope that we're not going to win with this flyer, because if so, I'm really sad, because they could be at a virtual 8 right now. I think we gotta go for finding a counterspell here. Didn't find a counterspell, so things are gonna get some counters, or probably the Pel Collector's gonna fight the Nightpack Ambusher. What does this do in this? Oh, well, that's okay. I mean, they are gonna get really big, sure, but I guess what we're looking to draw now is maybe a Krasis, something like that. Alright, so they're going to attack in... We're going to let one go through, one damage go through. This way. But in the long run, we're more likely to draw a Nightpack Ambusher than something else to make that one loyalty matter. Oh, that's really not fun. I guess that would have been better to do at the end. Yeah, that wasn't really useful. It was very unfortunate that I didn't allow that to happen. Then I could have just done it at instant speed. Yeah, that wasn't good. Well, that's pretty good. Mistakes were made. Alright, at least our opponent's out of cards now.
Stomping time.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Alright, so I would like to maybe have a Nightpack Ambusher come off the top here, a Brazen Borrower, maybe something like that. Opponent's thinking, hopefully they're not going to fight our Ambusher with the Yorvo. Okay, so they're going to get some counters, make him big.
To survive.
Jam in with Mr. Big. Hopefully not get super slammed. I mean, I have a counter spell for a... Okay. I'm not happy losing all the lands, but only it makes, like, Krasis worse, I should say.
Behold, nature's true power.
Well, you're annoying.
I haven't heard that one before. Alright, so we may be able to balance out here. There may be saving some things to double spell here. That's just not going to do it. So I'm feeling like we may have the upper hand here. I just like to start drawing some action here. Like a Crisis would be good. Get us out of a little bit of a death range. That's fine too, actually. And I think I will absolutely go like this. And then Nissa off. I guess we could have Nissa'd then. But then we lose out getting a wolf, which I think I want the bodies right now. So this is a good matchup. Alright, so we're doing good here. We're doing good, because we can flash in an ambusher to make our wolves nice and beefy.
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
They're going to go to attacks. They're not going to attack, so we will flash in an ambusher. Which makes our wolves nice and big, nice and huge, and that's the concession there. So we definitely had a little bit of a tough time early, but we grounded out. Take two. Here we go. Take two. Take two. We are on the play with some cards that are not so great to have early, but we have a scry and a draw to get to our, and a couple turns to get to a second blue source, so we will keep that. Don't have any acceleration, don't want to get a Nissa just yet. We have a bunch in the deck, so we're possibly likely to get it. Black, Ebon Legion, so we might be on something aggressive, which isn't all that great. Didn't get the best color of land off the top there, but still not terribly upset. We can have a Night Pack Ambusher on turn 4 if we feel like it. Hopefully we can draw an island or an untapped green source, or a blue source. Yep. Here, we didn't, but we can cast a Druid of Paradise. Go to attacks, pump 1, or not. I'm not going to block. No blockies. Okay, no pumps. That's weird. So theoretically we could hold up Sabotage and Aether Gust. What does this do? I guess we could gust that if we wanted to. Like, either way, we have a Nightpack Ambusher coming down. Probably we want to do that sooner than later. Okay, so that's fine. They're gonna pump 1. So they can't do anything else. They can play a land maybe and then play something else, but they're just gonna go ahead and do that. So that's fine. I'll get an Ambusher out. We can get a Crisis out for 3, which isn't all that great. Get ourselves a nice... I guess we could have attacked for 4, but I'd rather have the Ambusher out for something. Or for something better, I should say. Attack with both. No attacks. Ambusher. Maybe some borrowers would help to get these knights dealt with in some capacity. What's our opponent thinking here? Kill one of these guys? What do they got? Doomblade? I don't know what they got. What are they doing? Are they taking a second look at it? Ugh, sorry. I wonder if they think it's our priority here, and they're just like, what's going on here? They just speed through here. They're like, oops, I didn't know that was my priority, but they're not, so they must be thinking about killing one of them, maybe? I guess we could try that. We could save one of our own ambushers by Aether Gusting it here, but I don't know what they're thinking so hard about. It's very, very hard thinking from our opponent. They're taking a second look at it, all right. I know some games with very complex board states it takes a while to analyze things like this, but this is a fairly clear thing. Do you want to kill it or not? You don't need to think about 8 turns ahead. I think we're saving the Aether Gust for protection here. Maybe they timed out. Oh, no. They were looking at stuff before, so they probably didn't time out. Oh, that's the beating right there. That is the beating. That's the beat. We're going to hold that guy up unless the... Yeah, that's nice. That's the beating. That's the nuts. Does this say non-token? No, we can get a whole bunch of scries with that thing, too. That might be. So I'm thinking about something else. All right, come on, take 2. Let's get a move on here. Hopefully next turn I'll get some attacking in with some 5/5 Wolfie boys, because that's nice. Depending on what they do here, anyways, because they may tap out to do things or tap multiple things. All right, so that is a 2/2 that can't fight anything. It could double the counters, become a 4/4. That's fine. Or 4/5. Double the counters. You got it. Resolves. Resolvesies. This is that's the nuts for us right here. That is the nuts. All 3 bigly beast boys coming in for you. Because I'm going to get 3 more at the end of the turn, so I'm really not upset if they all just somehow died. I don't know what our opponent could do to come back from this. They could have a Ritual of Soot, but that would kill all but my 3 ambushers. Yeah, that's... Actually, I want to kill that guy first. The Hydra isn't as scary. We can always Aether Gust it in response of something scary, so... Oh, that was cool, that whole fade thing there. Alright, so I think this is gonna probably... Unless they have a wipe or something... Yeah, that was prompting a concession. Kidana. Kidona. Kidona. We go first. With a pretty reactive hand. Hopefully we can draw maybe a Growth Spiral, something like that off the top. Foist, that would be nice. Definitely be a happy situation there. Oh. I hope this is the Handmelt deck. Whoa, look at that! Holy moly, I didn't see that guy over there. Creepy. I got way too excited for that. Oh, boy. Alright, so they are definitely playing that because That's got to be Bellhaunt coming out next turn. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, this is the Handmelt deck. This is it. Cool stuff. Go get ourselves a Farce. That's what I call it, the Handmelt deck. So we can definitely ditch a Nissa. Lame. Oh, that's a new sound effect, isn't it? I think it is. Well, that's unfortunate, because I would really like to have that in our hand. At least we have a negate up now. This actually is probably... Because I played through this deck. I think this is probably MTG Goldfish's Orzhov hand destruction deck. It was actually really fun. I played it on the stream a couple times. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And now they're going to get us to discard again and gain 3 more life. We're going to discard a Nissa. Got a Castle Vantress. Get a Nissa down.
Together, we will prevail. The land fights for us.
At least we have our negate up, so they can try to murder us Rider, and we can kill that, or whatchamacallit, something like that. They're gonna mortify. I think we're gonna go ahead and notify that. Then we're gonna take a whole bunch, and this is gonna die. Yeah, but it'll take our whole turn, and then we can always do it next turn. We don't lose our land. Yep. Nissa goes down. We got another Nissa and a Mystical Dispute. Oh, we don't have a Nissa anymore. That's why it costs more. Oh, that hurts. That is a painful situation.
Power surges through these lands. Behold, nature's true
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it in this. But I actually do really like this deck, so I'm just kind of happy that we're playing through it here. All right, so we lose this either way, but they don't get a... So we're going to lose our Nissa. So that's we have a choice to either lose our Nissa or then have another creature on board. We're going to let it resolve. Because I'd rather not lose a Nissa. I'd push with the Prince too, actually, but that's just me. I guess we could have blocked with the Paradise Druid as well to kill the Prince, especially with all the Garbo we're getting off of our library right now.
harness the elements.
Yeah, that's definitely the Goldfish deck, and boy, are we toasted or what? They got all the life in the world, so we couldn't possibly... Oh, I should have scryed. Yeah, that's gonna be game. Woo! That's a... I have to say, I did enjoy playing that deck, so... Yikes. Epic hero. Too bad I don't have an epic downfall to make that work. Alright, we go first. We have a good hand. Provided we can get one land at some point off of something here, we very well could have a turn 4 Nissa. Our Breton Pool. It's a very pretty card, isn't it? Enter tapped. Hello, opponent. Hello, hello, hello. For our opponent. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, that's even better. That is even better. Even better. I guess we won't have a turn... Well, we'll still have a turn 4 Nissa. And I think we will go ahead and keep that on top. Because technically we're at turn 3, so we'll have a turn 4 Nissa. If we had the Druid earlier, we could have had a... Actually, no, we could not have. We already ramped pretty hard, so never mind. Alright, do we have a negate? Oh, that is a perfect target to negate. You want to attack me? I want you to attack me. Because then it's just a pesky little 1-1. Oh, thank you. What a bud. What a bud. Not having that flyer to hurt our Nissa. Unless they're going to have just, like, kill the Nissa thing. Teysa. Karlov. Oh, no. Well, that's a little unfortunate, but I think we're still okay here. So what'd this do? Creature tokens, you have lifelink and vigilance and double death triggers. Well, Cruel Selly Boy. Yep, don't have anything to do with that, so things are gonna die and double ping. 2 target players. Okay. What do I want here? A big Krasis, maybe? Just to get a huge flyer? That'll get me a bunch of cards? I think that's what I want. Krasis. And I will draw it next turn. Yeah, I think we'll just go get a big Krasis, right? That or Ambushers, but I think Krasis is better. Alright, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? And I got the other Krasis to follow it up well. That'll probably be something we're okay with. Next turn we can ultimate Nissa. If we felt like it, I think I'd rather get one more knock out of it here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So another 9 guy. I thought I played an extra land. So isn't it 10? Oh no, it's 9. Alright, so this is looking like we're gonna just smash next turn. We got 2 lethal threats on board, a whole bunch of other attackers. I don't care what they do to our Nissa. You can kill everything on the Nissa thing. Circle of Loyalty doesn't even matter. I really don't care at all. We just win here. You can kill Nissa. I don't care.
Do not assume I am fragile.
I will not. Don't worry. Mista. Alright, cool. Alright, and now for the wrap-up for our Simic Flamp mashing in the meta. The deck worked pretty well. I think it's an actual Tier 1 deck. You could definitely go ahead and try to play on the ladder. We played against some Jeskai Fires, played against some old Golgari stuff, some kind of janky things too, but overall, I think the deck works well. It's really critical that we can get pressure down with Nightpack Ambusher or Nissa early on in the game. Starting off with a Quench, Growth Spiral, or Paradise Druid in hand with lands to cast it is is kind of a key for the deck to function well. And then making sure that you can keep applying pressure while controlling the board. Overall, great deck. I would definitely recommend trying it out. It's a little top heavy on rares, so if you don't have a lot of the stuff, it's not the most budget-friendly deck as far as Arena goes, but overall, definitely significantly upgraded since we last saw it in July. Who knows what will happen with the drop of Theros Beyond Death, but for right now, give it a shot. And that is all for today's episode of Mashing the Meta, so cheers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the cellar.